The unexpected encounter. The void of space stretched endlessly before Captain Ilara Chen as she stood on the bridge of the UES Horizon, the flagship of humanity's most ambitious deep space exploration mission to date. The ship's view screen displayed a tapestry of stars, each a potential harbor for new discoveries, new resources, or perhaps even new life. "Status report, Commander Torres," Ilara called out, her voice steady despite the excitement coursing through her veins. This was their first venture beyond the fringes of known space, and every moment brought them closer to the unknown. Commander Sophia Torres, Ilara's second-in-command and chief science officer, looked up from her console. "All systems nominal, Captain. We're maintaining our course towards the anomaly detected by our long-range sensors. ETA is approximately 6 hours." Ilara nodded, a small smile playing at the corners of her mouth. The anomaly had been the talk of the fleet for days, an inexplicable energy signature unlike anything humanity had encountered before. It could be a natural phenomenon, an artifact of an ancient civilization, or something beyond their wildest imaginations. The UES Horizon led a fleet of 5 ships, 2 other Explorer-class vessels, the UES Discovery and UES Venture, and 2 cutting-edge frigates for protection, the UES Aegis and UES Guardian. It was a small armada by military standards, but for a scientific expedition, it represented humanity's greatest investment in deep space exploration. As the hours ticked by, the excitement on the bridge grew palpable. Even the most seasoned officers found themselves stealing glances at the view screen, watching as the anomaly grew from a pinprick of light to a swirling iridescent cloud that defied description. "Approaching the anomaly, Captain," announced Lieutenant Ravi Patel from the helm. "Preparing to drop out of FTL." "Very good, Lieutenant," Ilara replied. "All hands, prepare for sublight transition. Commander Torres, begin full spectrum analysis as soon as we're in range." The fleet emerged from faster-than-light travel in perfect formation, the swirling energies of the anomaly now dominating their view. For a moment, everyone on the bridge held their breath, awestruck by the sight before them. Then, chaos erupted. "Multiple contacts," shouted Lieutenant Commander Yuki Tanaka from the tactical station. "Massive energy signatures, Captain, we're not alone out here." Ilara's training kicked in immediately. Red alert. "Shields up, weapons on standby. Do not fire unless fired upon." "Commander Torres, what are we dealing with?" Sophia's fingers flew across her console, eyes wide as she interpreted the flood of data. "Captain, I'm detecting hundreds of ships. Varying sizes, but many of them dwarf even our largest vessels. They appear to be in some kind of formation around the anomaly." "Are they reacting to our presence?" Ilara asked, her mind racing through possible first contact scenarios. None of them had prepared for something on this scale. "They're moving, Captain," Yuki reported, her voice tense. "Several of the larger vessels are breaking off from the main group and heading in our direction." Ilara took a deep breath, centering herself. This was it. Humanity's first encounter with an advanced alien civilization. Everything hung in the balance. Open a channel, all frequencies. Let's hope they're willing to talk. For several tense moments, there was no response. The alien ships continued their approach, their designs unlike anything humanity had ever conceived. They were all smooth curves and pulsing lights, more like living creatures than constructed vessels. Suddenly, the communications officer, Ensign Chen Liu, called out. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission. It's not like anything in our databases. The universal translator is struggling to make sense of it." "Put it through," Ilara ordered. The bridge speakers came to life with a cacophony of sounds, clicks, whistles, and deep, resonant tones that seemed to vibrate the very air around them. Sophia's eyes lit up with understanding. "Captain, I think it's a language based on mathematical principles. Give me a few minutes, and I might be able to establish a basic framework for communication." Ilara nodded, grateful once again for her brilliant science officer. "Do it. In the meantime, let's show them we come in peace." She turned to Ensign Leo. "Transmit visual greetings, the standard first contact package we prepared. And keep broadcasting on all frequencies. We are humans from the planet Earth. We come in peace and seek friendship." As Sophia worked feverishly to decipher the alien language, the rest of the bridge crew watched in tense silence as the alien ships drew ever closer. They were close enough now to make out intricate patterns on their hulls, designs that seemed to shift and change as they watched. "Captain," Yuki called out, her voice tight with concern, "the alien vessels are powering up some kind of energy weapons. I can't determine their capabilities, but given the size difference." Alara understood the unspoken implication. If it came to a fight, her small fleet wouldn't stand a chance. Understood, Lieutenant Commander, but ready to fight. Keep our weapons powered down. We need to show them we're not a threat. Minutes stretched like hours as they waited for a breakthrough. The alien ships had formed a loose semicircle around the human fleet, effectively boxing them in against the swirling energies of the anomaly. "I've got it," Sophia exclaimed suddenly. "Captain, I've managed to establish a basic framework for communication. It's rudimentary, but it should allow for simple exchanges." Alara didn't hesitate. "Patch me through." She took a deep breath, acutely aware that her next words could shape the future of human-alien relations. "This is Captain Alara Chen of the United Earth Ship Horizon. We are explorers from a planet called Earth. We come in peace and with open minds, seeking to learn and share knowledge. We apologize for any intrusion into your space and ask for your understanding and patience as we attempt to communicate." The response came almost immediately, a series of mathematical equations that Sophia quickly interpreted. "Captain, they're asking about our presence here, and I think they're expressing surprise. They weren't expecting to encounter another spacefaring species." Alara nodded, a glimmer of hope rising in her chest. "At least they were talking. Explain our mission, Commander. Tell them about our exploration initiative and our interest in the anomaly." As Sophia relayed the message, the tension on the bridge remained high. The alien ships hadn't powered down their weapons, but they hadn't fired either. It was a precarious balance. The next response took longer to arrive. When it did, Sophia's expression was a mix of excitement and concern. "Captain, they're inviting us closer to the anomaly. They say they've been studying it for a long time and are willing to share some of their findings. But they're also warning us about some kind of danger. The translation is unclear, but I think they're saying the anomaly is unstable or perhaps unpredictable." Alara weighed her options carefully. Moving closer to the anomaly would put them in a more vulnerable position if this was some kind of trap. But the potential for scientific discovery, and for building trust with this alien species, was too great to ignore. "Very well," she decided. "Inform them we accept their invitation. Lieutenant Patel, take us in slowly. Maintain formation with the rest of our fleet, and everyone stay alert. We're making history here, but let's make sure we're around to tell the tale." As the human ships began to move, guided by their alien escorts, Alara couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the precipice of something monumental. Whether it would lead to humanity's greatest triumph or its gravest peril remained to be seen. The anomaly loomed before them, its swirling energies now close enough to cast an eerie glow across the bridge. As they approached, new details became visible. Patterns within patterns, flows of energy that seemed to defy the laws of physics as humanity understood them. "Captain," Sophia called out, her voice filled with awe. "The readings we're getting. They're off the charts. This anomaly, it's like nothing we've ever encountered. It's bending space-time itself." Alara was about to respond when a violent tremor shook the ship. Alarms blared across the bridge as the view screen filled with blinding light. "Report," Alara shouted, gripping her command chair as the ship bucked and heaved. "The anomaly is destabilizing." Yuki yelled over the chaos. "Massive energy surges, Captain. It's pulling us in." First contact goes awry. The blinding light from the anomaly faded, revealing a scene of chaos. The UES Horizon and its sister ships tumbled through space, their formation shattered by the unexpected surge of energy. Alarms blared across the bridge as Captain Alara Chen fought to regain control of the situation. "Status report," she barked, her eyes darting between the view screen and the various stations on the bridge. Commander Sophia Torres was the first to respond, her voice strained but professional. "Multiple systems damaged, Captain. Shields at 60%, long-range communications offline. The rest of our fleet is scattered but intact." "And our alien friends?" Alara asked, noting with concern that the massive alien ships were no longer visible. Lieutenant Commander Yuki Tanaka shook her head, frustration evident in her voice. "No sign of them, Captain. It's like they vanished when the anomaly surged." Alara's mind raced. Had the aliens abandoned them? Or had they been caught in the energy surge as well? Before she could voice her thoughts, another voice cut through the tension. "Captain, we got company." It was Ensign Chen Liu at the communications station. "New contacts appearing. They're not the same aliens we encountered before." The view screen shifted, revealing a swarm of smaller, sleeker vessels emerging from what appeared to be a tear in space itself. Unlike the organic, flowing designs of their previous alien encounter, These ships were all sharp angles and intimidating protrusions. "They're hailing us," Lou reported, his fingers flying over his console. "Audio only." Alara nodded. "Put it through." A harsh guttural voice filled the bridge, the universal translator struggling to keep up. "Unknown vessels, you have trespassed in forbidden space. Surrender immediately or be destroyed." The bridge fell silent, the crew looking to their captain for guidance. Alara's mind whirled with possibilities. Had they unknowingly crossed some sort of border? Was this a misunderstanding or something more sinister? "This is Captain Alara Chen of the United Earth Ship Horizon," she responded, keeping her voice calm and authoritative. "We are on a peaceful mission of exploration. We mean no harm, and we're unaware of any territorial boundaries. Perhaps we could discuss." The alien voice cut her off. "Your intentions are irrelevant. You have been touched by the void. You must be contained or eliminated." The communication cut off abruptly, leaving the bridge in stunned silence. The void? Sophia mused, her scientific curiosity momentarily overriding the gravity of the situation. Could they be referring to the anomaly? Alara had no time to ponder. Shields to maximum. All hands, battle stations. Lieutenant Patel, evasive maneuvers. The UES Horizon lurched as Lieutenant Ravi Patel's hands danced across the helm controls. The other ships of the human fleet, having received the same transmission, fell into a defensive formation. "They're powering up weapons," Yuki shouted. "Energy signatures unlike anything in our database." Alara's mind raced. They were outnumbered, outgunned, and in unknown territory. Fighting seemed futile, but surrender could mean the end of their mission, or worse. "Broadcast on all frequencies," she ordered. "To all ships of the human fleet, do not fire unless fired upon. We need to buy time to understand what's happening." As if in response to her words, the lead alien ship unleashed a beam of coruscating energy. It missed the horizon by mere meters, the residual energy causing the shields to flare violently. "That was a warning shot," Yuki assessed. "They could have hit us if they wanted to." Alara nodded grimly. "They're toying with us, showing us how outmatched we are." She took a deep breath, weighing her options. "Sophia, any luck re-establishing contact with our original alien encounter?" The science officer shook her head. "Nothing, Captain. It's like they never existed." Another energy beam lanced out, this time grazing the shields of the UES Discovery. The ship spun from the impact, its crew fighting to regain control. "Captain," Yuki's voice was tense. "The alien ships are moving to surround us. We're being herded." Alara's eyes narrowed. "Herded where?" The answer came as the view screen shifted once more, revealing a massive structure that seemed to materialize out of nowhere. It was a colossal ring, easily large enough to encompass their entire fleet, pulsing with the same strange energy as the anomaly they'd encountered. "It's some kind of containment field," Sophia breathed, her console flooding with data. "Or a quarantine zone." The realization hit Alara like a physical blow. These new aliens weren't necessarily hostile, they were afraid. Afraid of whatever the Horizon and its crew had been exposed to near the anomaly. "All ships, hold position," she ordered. "Do not approach that ring structure." She turned to Leo. "Ensign, keep broadcasting. Tell them we understand their concerns and are willing to undergo any decontamination procedures they deem necessary. Emphasize that we pose no threat." As Leo relayed the message, the alien ships pressed closer, their weapons still trained on the human fleet. Tense moments passed as they waited for a response. Suddenly, Sophia's console lit up. "Captain, I'm detecting a massive energy buildup from the ring structure. It's creating some kind of spatial distortion." Before Alara could respond, space itself seemed to twist and warp around them. The stars blurred, and for a moment, it felt as if reality itself was being torn apart. When the disorientation passed, the view that greeted them was entirely alien. Gone was the familiar starscape they had known. In its place was a swirling maelstrom of colors and energies that defied description. "Where are we?" Alara demanded, her voice barely above a whisper. Sophia's reply was filled with awe and terror in equal measure. "According to these readings, we're inside the anomaly itself." The implications of Sophia's words hung heavy in the air. They were trapped in a realm beyond their understanding, surrounded by aliens who saw them as a threat, and cut off from any hope of rescue or support from Earth. As the human fleet drifted in this impossible space, surrounded by the alien vessels that had herded them here, Alara realized that their mission of peaceful exploration had become something far more dangerous. They were no longer just explorers. They were prisoners in a cosmic quarantine, subjects of an experiment they didn't understand. The fate of her crew, her fleet, and possibly all of humanity now rested on her next decisions. With a deep breath, Alara steadied herself. They had come seeking the unknown, and now they were in the heart of it. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she was determined to face them with the courage and ingenuity that had brought humanity to the stars. All ships, she broadcast, her voice firm and resolute. Maintain formation and standby. Our mission has changed, but our purpose remains the same. We came to learn, to understand, and to push the boundaries of human knowledge. Now, we face the greatest test in our history. Together we will find a way home, and we will unravel the mysteries of this place. The future of humanity depends on it. As her words echoed across the fleet, Alara turned her gaze to the swirling chaos beyond the view screen. Their greatest challenge, and perhaps their greatest discovery, awaited. To be continued, the battle begins. The swirling chaos of the anomaly surrounded the human fleet, a constant reminder of their dire situation. Days had passed since their unexpected imprisonment, and tensions were running high. Captain Alara Chen stood on the bridge of the UES horizon, her eyes fixed on the ever-shifting patterns beyond the view screen. "Status report," she called out, her voice steady despite the weight of command. Commander Sophia Torres looked up from her console, dark circles under her eyes betraying the long hours of study. "We're making progress in understanding the anomaly's structure, Captain. It seems to be a pocket dimension, separate from normal space-time." "Any luck finding a way out?" Alara asked, though she already knew the answer. Sophia shook her head. "Not yet. The alien's containment field is incredibly advanced. We're still trying to decipher its operating principles." Alara nodded, turning her attention to Lieutenant Commander Yuki Tanaka at Tactical. "And our hosts?" Yuki's expression was grim. "They're still out there, Captain, maintaining a perimeter around us. They haven't made any aggressive moves, but they're not letting us go either." The captain was about to respond when an alarm blared across the bridge. "Report," she barked. "Massive energy spike," Yuki called out. "Something's coming through the containment field." All eyes turned to the view screen as space itself seemed to tear open. Through the rift emerged a familiar sight, the organic, flowing forms of the alien ships they had first encountered. "It's them," Sophia breathed. "The aliens from our initial contact." Before anyone could react, the newcomers opened fire on the ships maintaining the quarantine. The space around the human fleet erupted into chaos as the two alien factions engaged in battle. "Captain," Yuki shouted over the din of alarms, "the containment field is fluctuating. This might be our only chance to escape." Alara's mind raced. This was the opportunity they'd been waiting for, but leaving now meant abandoning any chance of understanding what was happening. The scientist in her ward with the captain's duty to her crew. "All ships prepare for emergency jump," she ordered, making her decision. "Plot a course for the weakest point in the containment field." As the human fleet maneuvered into position, the battle around them intensified. Energy beams and exotic weapons crisscrossed space, creating a deadly-like show. "Captain," Sophia called out urgently, "I'm picking up strange readings from the anomaly. The battle is causing some kind of reaction." Alara had no time to ponder the implications. "All ships, execute jump now." The human vessels surged forward, their engines straining against the fabric of the pocket dimension. For a heart-stopping moment, it seemed they might not make it. Then, with a flash of light and a stomach-churning lurch, they broke through. Normal space greeted them, stars twinkling serenely as if nothing had happened. But their relief was short-lived. "Multiple contacts," Yuki shouted. "Both alien factions have followed us through." Alara gripped her command chair. They had escaped the anomaly, but the battle had followed them into real space, and now her small fleet was caught in the middle. "Evasive maneuvers," she ordered. "We're not out of this yet." The UES horizon banked hard, narrowly avoiding a stray energy blast from one of the larger alien ships. The other human vessels scattered, trying to stay out of the line of fire. "Captain," Sophia's voice was filled with urgency. "The anomaly, it's expanding." The view screen shifted, showing the swirling vortex of the anomaly growing larger, tendrils of impossible energies reaching out into space. Alara realized with growing horror that their escape had destabilized the pocket dimension. If it continued to expand, it could threaten not just their fleet, but potentially entire star systems. She made a decision. "All ships, new heading. We're going back in." "Captain?" Yuki's voice was incredulous. "We started this," Alara said firmly. "We have to end it. Commander Torres, what would happen if we detonated our warp cores inside the anomaly?" Sophia's eyes widened as she ran the calculations. It could cause a chain reaction, collapsing the pocket dimension. But Captain, the odds of surviving such an explosion. Alara nodded grimly. "I know. But we have to try. For Earth, and for every world that might be in danger if this thing keeps growing." She opened a channel to the fleet. "This is Captain Chen. We came out here to explore, to push the boundaries of human knowledge. Now we have a chance to save countless lives. I'm calling for volunteers. We need one ship to take the fight back to the anomaly." The response was immediate. Every ship in the fleet volunteered. With tears in her eyes but determination in her voice, Alara made her choice. "UES Horizon will take the mission. The rest of you, get to safe distance and record everything. The world needs to know what happened here." As the Horizon turned back toward the growing anomaly, Alara addressed her crew one last time. "It has been my greatest honor to serve with you. Today make history. Today we save the future." The ship plunged back into the swirling chaos, pushing its engines to the limit. Around them, the alien battle raged on, oblivious to the humans' desperate plan. "Warp core overload in 10 seconds, Sophia reported, her voice steady despite the circumstances. Alara took one last look at her brave crew. "It's been a hell of a ride," she said softly. The warp core detonated, releasing a blinding flash of energy. For a moment, the Horizon and its crew were at the heart of a newborn star. Then the anomaly collapsed in on itself, taking the ship and the battling alien fleets with it. In the silence of space, the remaining human ships watched as the threat winked out of existence. The UES Horizon and its crew were gone, but their sacrifice had saved untold lives and preserved the future of space exploration. As the surviving ships turned back toward Earth, they carried with them a tale of heroism, of first contact gone awry, and of the indomitable human spirit. The universe, they had learned, was more vast and dangerous than they had ever imagined. But humanity had proven itself equal to the challenge. The mission that began as a journey of discovery had become legend, and somewhere in the great expanse of space, the echoes of the Horizon's final act rippled outward, a testament to the courage of those who dared to reach for the stars. The end.